Welcome, dreamer, to Evernight Classics, where the quiet of winter meets the warmth of a single steady flame. Tonight, snow drifts softly against the library window, each flake a pale whisper in the hush of December. The candle on the table burns with a low, golden glow, and beside it rests an ink pot, a worn quill, and a folded sheet of paper waiting to breathe. We open Little Women, not through its chapters, but through a letter, a tender glimpse into the heart of Jo March on a winter night long ago. Imagine her attic room in Concord, the slanted ceiling gathering shadows, the fire murmuring in the grate, and Jo herself leaning over her desk, cheeks warmed by the flame, fingers smudged with ink. This is not a letter she ever sent. It belongs to that quiet place where feelings go when they are too soft to speak aloud, yet too strong to keep unformed. Tonight, we read what she wrote, line by gentle line, and let her winter world open like a candlelit window before us. So sit close to the fire and listen as the quill touches the page. A letter is beginning. Dear Father, I hope this winter evening finds you safe and warm, wherever your duties have carried you. The snow has been falling since afternoon, soft as flour from Beth's baking tin, and the whole house glows faintly beneath its hush. Marmee says it will be a long storm, but a gentle one, and I like to imagine the same quiet settling over you as well. The fire is burning low beside me, and I've placed this little desk near enough that I can feel its warmth on my hands as I write. The ink grows thick in the cold, but that seems fitting somehow, as though winter wishes every word to be chosen slowly, with care. Meg has been mending stockings tonight. She does it so neatly that even the frayed threads seem grateful to be gathered beneath her needle. She worries about propriety far more than I ever could, but she has a gift for making the ordinary feel graceful. If you could see the way she bends over her work, you would think her a small lamp of patience glowing gently in the corner of the room. Beth has been at the piano. She plays softly, as if the keys themselves were fragile from the chill and might break beneath too eager a touch. Her music fills the house like warm breath on a cold window. Sometimes I stop writing just to listen, and I wonder if you can hear echoes of her gentle chords carrying across all the miles between us. And Amy, dear little Amy, has set herself to sketching the snow outside. She keeps pressing her face to the frosted pane, leaving small clouds of breath that fade almost at once. She insists the world looks more classical in winter. And though I don't entirely know what she means, her determination makes me smile. As for me, I am trying my best to be useful, though my restless heart would rather be out in the world than stitching hems or carrying coal. Marmee says there is strength in tending to the small things, that homes are held together by hands willing to do the humble work. I believe her. She has a way of turning even the simplest chore into an act of love. But there are moments, Father, when I feel the world pressing at the edges of me, as if urging me towards something just beyond our snowy street. I long to write stories that warm cold evenings, that lift hearts the way yours always lifted ours. I hope, I very much hope, that wherever you read this, you know that your courage has planted something brave in us too. Winter has a way of slowing everything. The hours stretch like long shadows across the floor. And yet, somehow, time feels more precious in its quietness. Tonight, as the storm deepens, I feel the weight of your absence, but also the strength you left behind. We are managing well, and Marmee guides us with a steady grace that would make you proud. I paused just now to look out the window. The snow is piling against the garden gate, and the street lamp flickers each time the wind stirs. It is a lonely sort of beauty, soft, pale, and trembling. And for a moment, I imagined you walking toward the house, your boots leaving deep prints in the fresh drift. I know it is only the fancy of winter night, but I let myself keep the image a little longer than I meant to. I will pause my writing here for a moment, Father. The fire needs tending, and the ink has grown cool. But there is more I wish to tell you, more that belongs to the quieter part of this winter night. I shall return to the page shortly, once the room is warm again and my thoughts have settled. For now, the quill rests beside the candle. Winter has a way of revealing the quiet weight we carry, not through hardship alone, but through the stillness that settles when the world slows and asks us to listen more closely to ourselves. As Jo bends over her letter, we see more than ink and paper. We see a young heart learning how to hold both longing and courage in the same gentle space. It is a delicate balancing, missing someone deeply, yet choosing each day to keep the fire warm, to keep the household bright, to keep love stitched into the smallest acts. Families are not held together by grand gestures. They endure through stockings mended with patience, piano notes played softly in the lamplight, and the unwavering hope that tomorrow will arrive with its own quiet mercies. Jo does not write to impress, nor to distract herself from worry. She writes because letters allow us to speak to those we love across distances we cannot cross. A letter is a bridge made of simple words, sturdy enough to carry warmth, even through a winter storm. And though her father may never read this page, something in Jo strengthens as she writes. Putting her feelings into ink gives shape to the part of her that grows braver in the telling. Perhaps that is what we all carry through winter. The hope that our small efforts matter, the belief that love can travel farther than our voices can reach, and the quiet understanding that even in the coldest season, the heart keeps its own steady flame. The fire burns lower now, Father, and the room has grown quieter since I set my quill aside. I return to this letter with hands a little warmer and thoughts a little clearer. Outside, the snow has deepened, softening every sound, as though the whole world were listening for what I might write next. The more I write, the clearer it becomes that letters are not only for the person who receives them, but also for the one who writes them. As the fire burns low and the snow keeps falling, I feel as though each word guides me a little closer to understanding myself. I think often of last winter, when you sat beside this same hearth and told us stories of your own childhood, how you and your brothers carved paths in the snow, how grandmother kept a pot of stew on the stove that seemed to last endlessly through every storm. I remember the way the flame lit your face as you spoke, and how safe everything felt with your voice carrying through the room. Tonight, I read my words aloud very softly, imagining that same warmth settling over us again. It helps, somehow, to picture you nearby, to pretend the distance between us is no more than the length of this little attic. There is something else I wish to tell you, Father. It is not easy to write, for I am clumsy with tenderness, and my feelings have a habit of tumbling out before they have learned their proper shape. But I have been thinking a great deal about what it means to grow up. I used to believe it was a matter of years, a string of birthdays, gifts, new lessons. But now I think growing up begins on the day you understand someone depends on you. And since you left, I have felt that truth settling over me in ways both heavy and strangely beautiful. I help Meg with the house when I can, though she performs every task more gracefully than I ever could. I watch over Beth, not because she is frail, but because her heart is gentler than the world deserves, and I want to guard it with my life. And Amy, sweet, stubborn Amy, she listens to me more carefully now, as if she senses the change in the wind and wishes to grow in the right direction. I do not always succeed. I grow impatient or too bold or too restless for tasks that require stillness. But whenever I stumble, I think of the way you used to rest your hand on my shoulder and steady me without a word. I imagine that same steadying now, and it helps me try again. I must confess something further. I fear losing time, not in the sense of growing older, but in the fear that I might not become who I wish to be before the world demands too much of me. I long to write, and not only scribble plays for the girls or stories to amuse myself in the attic. I want to write something that lives, something that warms a winter night for someone far away, the way your letters warm ours. But I often wonder if this dream is foolish. There are moments when the ink blots, my sentences tangle, and the story slips through my fingers like snow melting on a glove. Yet even in those moments, I feel your encouragement, the memory of you saying that every person must try, even if the trying is slow and the success uncertain. I hold on to that, Father. I hold on to it with both hands. The snow has grown heavier now. I hear the wind along the roof, a low and wandering sound, as if the whole world were breathing in its sleep. Beth's playing has stopped. She has gone to bed, but I can still hear the final note hanging in the air, like the tail end of a prayer. Meg has folded away her sewing. She checked on Amy, who fell asleep at her drawing table, a curl of blonde hair stuck to her cheek. Marmee has banked the fire for the night, though she left a small flame for me, because she knows I cannot write in the dark. How lucky we are, Father, not because life is easy, for it has never been so, but because we hold each other through every season, and because your love has made this house a place where even the smallest kindness feels like a treasure. There is something I have never said aloud, something I have only carried quietly beneath my usual chatter and ambition. I am frightened for you. There, I have written it, not in panic, but in honesty. The world beyond our little home is vast, and winter is cruel in places we cannot see. But I trust your courage, and I trust the goodness that guides you. Still, some nights, I press my hand to the cold window pane and imagine sending warmth across the distance, as though breath and hope together could reach wherever you stand. If you could see us now, you would know we remain strong, not without longing, but with a determination to meet each day as you have taught us to. We are learning, all four of us, how to grow in kindness, how to make our lives useful, how to keep faith in what lies ahead. Marmee says that winter is the season that teaches endurance, and I believe her. But I also think winter teaches tenderness, the kind that appears when one flame is shared among many hands, and each protects it gently, so that the others may see. I will soon finish this letter, though there is so much more I wish to tell you. Yet some thoughts live best in the heart, and some hopes glow more steadily when left unwritten. Before I close, I want to give you a memory, one you may have forgotten, but which returns to me often. It was a night, very much like this one, snow falling softly, the fire burning low. You sat beside us and opened a book you loved. We gathered close, the four of us small and eager, and you read until the world outside the window faded into a blur of white. I remember thinking that if happiness had a sound, it would be your voice reading aloud while the snow drifted around our warm house. Tonight, I keep that memory with me like a lantern in the dark. And I hope, wherever you are, you have a small lantern of your own, a word, a touch, a thought that lights your way. I will leave this letter by my bedside, folded neatly, held closed with a ribbon. I do not know if I will ever send it. Some letters are meant only to steady the heart that writes them. Good night, dear Father. Know that we are well, that we love you, and that every snowfall brings us closer to the day we see you again. Your Joe. The candle on Joe's desk flickers once, then steadies, its golden glow soft against the folded letter she leaves behind. Outside, the snow continues to fall, slow, unhurried flakes drifting past the attic window, softening the world into a quiet, shimmering hush. The fire settles into embers. The house grows still. Joe rises, holding the letter close for a moment, before placing it gently in the drawer beside her bed. Some words are meant to stay near the heart, and she lets them rest there. The room fades, the slanted ceiling, the ink-stained fingers, the small lantern of memory, all dissolving into the soft blur of winter night. And then, slowly, we return to the Evernight library. The window beside us glows with the pale light of snow, and the candle burns low, its flame warm against the quiet air. The world seems softer now, as if Joe's letter has wrapped itself around the room like a woolen shawl. The lamp grows dim. The snow keeps its gentle rhythm. If sleep has found you, let it keep you. And if you are still awake, rest here in the warmth of this winter quiet. Until the next night, in the library of Evernight.